Switch 2 Nintendo Direct, and I have to say that I've kind of felt a little bit disappointed with it. Um, well, let's go for a bit of a roundup. So, yep, today is the 2nd of April, and we had Nintendo officially release and give us more information on release. Sort of announce. I know we had the little announcement a few weeks ago, but this was a big deal. This was the big Nintendo Direct announcement for the Switch 2, and it clarified and cleared up a lot of things. So. Um, a lot of the rumors that were about were true. We had this fabled button that we weren't sure about on the Joy-Cons. It's called the C button. Well, it now transpires that the C is standing for chat, so it's for game chat. Uh, let's just sort of quickly run through some of these things. Joy-Cons, they can be used as mice. Apparently, you can use original Joy-Cons on a Switch 2, but I just can't see how that is because the Switch 2 is bigger, so perhaps you can pair them and use them, but I don't think you'd be able to attach it to the side of a Switch 2. I missed this when I was watching the Direct, but apparently it will be released on the 5th of June, with pre-orders available for Nintendo Switch Online users from the 8th of April at a price of £395 or $429 if you buy it with Mario Kart Worlds. Let's get on to that. So the big thing about the Switch 2 reveal that we had a few weeks ago was that it looked like it had a new Mario Kart, which really we needed because Mario Kart 8 was a pullover from the Wii U, so 8 Deluxe, which is great. But looking at this Mario Kart Worlds, it's a bigger, better Mario Kart. That's what I expected. It seems that it's going to be more of an open world kind of experience. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I like just the standard driving style of Mario Kart, as it has always been. I mean, there will be Grand Prix in this new Mario Kart world. There's also going to be like a knockout kind of thing as well. So it's pretty good. It will have a camera, but I think it's going to be an attachment, and that's be coming soon. It's got a 7.9-inch screen, which is capable of 120 frames per second. The new dock has a fan to keep it cooler. It is capable of up to 4K support. It doesn't use micro SD cards. It uses micro SD Express cards. And we will be receiving a new Switch Pro controller called the Switch 2 Pro controller. I am looking at some notes that I made while I was watching the Nintendo Direct. And that is pretty much a sort of a hardware summary. Apart from they are going to be offering GameCube games on the Switch Online for the Switch 2 only, and that is going to come with a GameCube style controller. That is about it for hardware. We still don't know the specs. We don't know how much RAM it's got, and how much what the processor is going to be. We're still on this fabled. It's going to be 4 times faster. It's going to have 4 times as much RAM. It's going to be as powerful as a PS4 or a PS4 Pro, but we still aren't 100% sure. Nintendo don't generally sort of dwell on specs too much, like all the other companies do. So if we get down to software, so we already know that it's going to have Switch 2 games. It's going to have Switch 2 exclusive games, but it also will be able to run Switch games. Some of these games are going to get an upgrade to like the Switch 2 version. However, it doesn't look like these are going to be free. If you buy a PS4 game, stick it in a PS5, you get a free sort of upgrade. It doesn't look like that's going to be an option, or at least an option for some of them. You will have to pay for it. I can't remember exactly which game that expressly said that, but there was a game that they talked about in their Direct that the Switch 2 version is going to have some sort of paid up from the original. I think it might have been something like Mario Party Jamboree. So while we're talking of games and launch titles, I have made a list here. There are a few that are definite, launch title. So Mario Kart Worlds is going to be a launch title, along with Street Fighter 6, Split Fiction, Bravely Default, which is a remake, and Cyberpunk 2077. Good games, but they're hardly groundbreaking new games for a launch system. There are another bunch of games that will come out 2025. So we've got things like Kirby Air Riders, Metroid Prime 4 is going to get some kind of Switch 2 upgrade, Elden Ring, Hades 2, Madden NFL, Bloodlines 2, a Final Fantasy 7 remake, Enter the Gungeon 2, NBA 2K, WWE 2K, Hitman World of Assassination. Right, these are games that are, well, confirmed for the Switch 2. We do have Zelda, Tears of a Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, which are remakes, so they're going to be enhanced for the Switch 2. And well, that is about it in terms of what we're going to be getting. That's everything that my notes covers. And I sat watching it and I thought, well, the thing that most people were interested in is what the specs are going to be. I mean, some of these games, like something like Cyberpunk 2077, a big game. All right, it's hardly a new game, but it's still quite a big and intense game. So the Switch 2 is going to be quite capable. We know that from the Switch getting PS3 ports, if the Switch 2 is more powerful, it's almost guaranteed that there's going to be a lot of sort of PS4 ports, which is great. But for a new device, I mean, when we went to the Switch world, it was a new platform. So they brought a lot of new games. They did bring some across from the Wii U. But the Switch 2 has got more to follow because the Switch is so big. It needs something big to pull current Switch users away and upgrade to a Switch 2, which is not going to be no cheap expense. And even possibly your Switch games won't run unless you pay for the upgrade. Although I don't think that's going to be the case. You'll be able to put your current Switch game in your Switch 2 and play it as it is. If you want the enhanced experience, then I think you're going to need to pay for the upgrade. So what are we looking? 5th of June. So that is May, June. That's about 2 months away for launch. You can pre-order if you're an NSO user on the 8th of April. Other than that, I don't know. There's going to be, well, I'm sure you'll be able to order it at some point. Games look like they're going to come in at about 60 odd pounds, so no surprise there. A little pricey, but it's a new system. We still are not sure on the hardware. We know the size of the screen, but I doubt that they're going to go straight out with an OLED launch. This is going to be the standard, like the original Switch, and then you'll get further upgrades, like the Switch OLED. And I'm hoping that at some point a Switch 2 Lite will be here. Sorry, I'm just waiting for something to arrive. Anyway, so yeah, it was fairly eventful, but also uneventful at the same time. I just thought the lineup of games was a little lackluster. Lots of remakes. It didn't really strike me like it was going to hit the ground running with these massive games. They played far too much interest into Mario Kart Worlds, which I'm sure is going to be a wonderful game, but it's just another Mario Kart. And I get that they had to sort of take it in a different direction, give it an open world. You can apparently just drive around and drive with friends and go for a nice sort of drive in the country or whatever. You can explore the maps and find new shortcuts, etc. So I suppose that is a nice addition, but um, it's another console. Maybe I'm just getting a bit bored of new consoles coming out, boasting they can do this, that, and the other, and they just end up being another games machine. I only really got into the Switch about 18 months ago when I bought my Switch Lite. So that was sort of 6 years into the life of the Switch. So I can't see me jumping into the Switch 2 anytime soon, and especially as I'd wait for a Lite, a sort of a smaller handheld version. So yeah, today is, well, it was rather big news for Nintendo and from Nintendo. But the main thing that I think a lot of people were interested in is what specs is it going to be? What is the processor and the RAM? We know it's going to have a 256 gig internal storage, which is a huge improvement over the 32 in the Switch and the Switch Lite. The OLED got 64, but 256 gig is going to be huge. I mean, I assume that Switch 2 games are going to be bigger, so maybe they'll take up more storage anyway. You can expand that with micro SD express cards. You can't use standard micro SD. I'm assuming they don't run quick enough to keep up with it. And yeah, so that is pretty much it. Like I say, I watched it. I took it all in. The only thing that really sort of kind of surprised us was this C button was for like a chat button. I don't think anything else really was that much a, of a shock. There's been far too many rumors, leaks, and speculation over the last few months, and we pretty much got it. It was a given, really, that Mario Kart was going to be a launch title because they do need to hit the ground with a good game. We need a new 3D Mario to kind of set that off a little bit, but there's no news on that. Just like I say, just a lot of some of the games looked like a bit like shovelware. There were some big titles in there. There were some remakes. I think that's really where you're going to sort of get a lot from the Switch 2. There's going to be a lot of PS4 games. There's going to be a lot of enhanced Switch games. There's going to be GameCube games, part of the NSO, which they've been building on with Game Boy and SNES and I don't know, whatever platform they add to slowly. And it is the Switch 2. You'll need a Switch 2 to play the GameCube games. Um, but there you go. That is my take and my sort of quick roundup of today's events. Today is the 2nd of April. We've just had the official Nintendo Direct for the Switch 2. And, well, it's a Switch 2. It's going to be faster. It's going to have all these new games, and it's going to have a camera, and it's going to have a magic C button so you can chat to people. Is that it? Is that everything on the little quick roundup bit? It's got a dock with a fan to keep it warmer. It can support 4K. You can use your old controllers, although we are getting new ones. The new Joy-Cons are bigger. The sticks are slightly bigger. No word on whether those sticks have got Hall effect or not to try and overcome any potential Joy-Con drift. And the bunch of games that are announced look a bit meager to me. But I won't be getting it anyway, and I won't be getting it on launch day or anywhere near launch day. But that's just a quick roundup and my thoughts and opinions. So uh, I'm sure at some point we'll get some more from Nintendo. Maybe a list of more games that are coming, or maybe we even be treated to what specs are inside the Switch 2. But that's it. That's me signing out. Link, like, subscribe, enjoy.